Pickle is a big week of football across the state of Texas, and there's only one way to wrap it all up. Hit the air raid siren. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout. Monday Morning Fallout. When we overreact to the football weekend, it's your weekly gallimaufry of nonsense as we sort through a weekend full of results across the state of Texas on the football field. We'll start with my opening thought. My opening thought is, well, now we know. There's such a sophomoric feeling this time of year. And by sophomoric, I don't mean like immature. I mean the actual meaning of the word sophomore, which is wise fool. We feel like we know so much, and yet actually there's a lot of teams that we really don't know a ton about. By the way, there's still a number of teams that we think highly of that may end up in our state rankings that we still may not know a ton about. But I think what we experienced over this past weekend in the Texas high school football world was a number of teams that we finally got a good, sturdy, take it to the bank data point on. I'll give you an example. The Gunner Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into this week, to be frank, we just didn't know anything about them.
No.
They played 3 teams. They were a lot better than all 3 of those teams. Okay. Right? Then week 4 rolls around, and Brock rolls into town. And this was our first real data point for Gunner. And the first real data point is very good. They dominate Brock.
It was
plain
shocking,
and simple.
Like shocking.
Throttle them. Probably not as close as the score indicates. What did it, 35-12 was the final, something like that?
Yeah, no, they were up 28-0 in like the second,
yeah.
I think. It was we legitimately like had that game pulled up and we're like, "Oh, let's go check into Brock." And we were like, "Oh my god."
No, like left no doubt. And to me, now we know about Gunner. We had an inkling. We thought, now we know. Same thing goes for Newton. Newton was a team that kind of through no fault of their own, we didn't have any data points on. Mm-hmm. Week 1, they were supposed to play Anahuac. Game got canceled because of wildfires. Week 2, they play Woodville. Fool around a little bit, but ended up winning the game. Week 3, they had an open date. So they were 1-0 entering their big game against West Orange Stark. And they roll out there, and the offense explodes. And the offense looks like one of the fastest offenses in Texas. Newton, we get a good data point on them. We thought, now we know. Bernie's another example. Bernie's interesting because we did have data points on them. And not all the data points were necessarily positive. You remember a little bit earlier, they took a loss, and we were like, uh-oh. Like, suddenly we were like, uh-oh, what's wrong with Bernie? Like, are they going to be able to fix things? And especially considering they were without their starting quarterback, Jackson Bays. They turn to the freshman, Hank Hendricks, and all they do, remember they lost to Flower Bluff in week 1, and all they do is hang 50 burger on Gregory Portland and beat them 50-22.
Who we were really high on.
Absolutely, a 5A team. That may be an example of taking what we thought we knew and getting alternative data. 2 other ones that spring to mind, maybe in a lesser extent, but Mart. We do not get a lot of data points on Mart, just plain and simple, because they have a hard time scheduling teams in their weight class. But this past week, we got to see them play Centerville. And again, we have to cherish this because we're probably not going to see them get challenged in any sort of meaningful way for another 8 months. Not 8 months, 8 weeks.
I was like, man, that's a long season.
Like, they'll play Dawson here in week 10. That'll be their biggest test until we get to like the state semifinals. But they go out there and they beat Centerville 36-21. That is a legit good win for Mart. We thought, now we feel like we know. Last one that I would put on there is Toller. Mm-hmm. Toller was a team that we had big concerns about. Remember, they're coming off of, we didn't really know what to make of that loss to Dallas Christian. They're without Peyton Brown. They're starting running back. What exactly are they going to look like punching up against a good Comanche team? Now, Comanche was without Sawyer Wilkerson, but I'll tell you that Toller did not look any worse for the wear. As they go out there and get a big win over Comanche, a nice bounce-back win. to me, they are who we thought they were. And that is an example of us getting data points from teams that data points are kind of hard to come by sometimes. But now we feel like we have a better idea on who these teams are. That's my opening thought. Game of the week has to be.
Yeah, there was no question.
Salina 42, Anna 40 in 4 overtimes. This game was bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Anna looked like they were going to run away with it.
It was that was another reaction that we had, just like the Brock and Gunner score, where we're like, oh my God, they're destroying them.
Just run away from Salina. But Salina claws back a huge third quarter, dominates the third quarter, get this thing to overtime, and another overtime, another overtime, another overtime. We have to share it, courtesy of our friends at WFAA. The fourth overtime and the win for Salina was certainly a pretty memorable moment.
Salina with the first crack at it. Porter rolling near side, fires, end zone complete. 2 more for Salina. Colton Rodriguez with the catch.
Just simple catch, and you go to Colton Rodriguez, someone that I've been saying this entire game, he has played his tail off on defense, has had an impact on this game offensively, and he goes in and he gets the score.
Williams in shotgun. He's going to try and run for it. Nowhere to go. Williams stood up. Salina with the stop, and the Bobcats win it. Absolute pandemonium here at Bobcat Field. Salina 42-40 victors as Ziandre Williams is stopped in the 4th overtime. Anna can't match on the 2-point conversion, and the Bobcats get the win.
What has to be a cathartic win for Salina after losing twice to their rival last year. They come from behind and get a big win. Huge victory, and it had to be the game of the week. Am I overreacting?
Yeah, I don't think so on this one.
Is Rice actually pretty dang good? Okay, so let's be clear. They're better than Texas Southern, okay?
Yes.
Texas Southern is 0-3. They're an FCS team. Like, I get it. But Rice is now coming off of 2 really impressive performances.
What was it? 59-0 or 59-7?
59-7.
7.
And it was.
When have you seen Rice dominate a team like that?
I'm telling you, JT Daniels, the JT Daniels retirement tour.
Yeah.
Like it might be working. And their defense, here's the other thing. The difference for me in watching Rice, because I did watch a decent amount of this game because I'm sick. Rice looks fast. Mm-hmm. For the first time in a while, Rice looks really fast. And I don't know. There's something cooking there on South Main. I'm wondering if Rice is actually pretty dang good. They just won the city of Houston, beat Houston and Texas Southern in consecutive weeks. They own the city of Houston. It's time for the Dudes Rock Dude of the Week. Hashtag Dudes Rock is where you get it. Or hashtag Dudes Rock Dude of the Week.
It's just the Dude of the Week.
Is PSJA North quarterback Alejandro Aparicio.
This dude does rock.
And perhaps you're thinking, wait a second. I was under the impression that he was done for the year. Girl, same.
Yeah.
The reports we had was that he had suffered a relatively serious injury and he was not going to be able to play. Mm-hmm. So imagine our surprise when he shows up last week against McAllen. Mm-hmm. And
I thought the tweet was wrong.
threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for another touchdown, and caught a touchdown pass. We'll talk about down the road about their big game this week against Vela, but there is no doubt that the hashtag Dudes Rock Dude of the Week is Ale Aparicio from PSJ North. Dudes Rock.
He does rock.
Dudes rock.
He rocks.
Time for Tepper's Play of the Week. Okay. This got sent to me.
Hold on to your butts.
This got sent to me. This is from the Waco Live Oak versus Gordon game. Okay? It's a 6-man football game, non-district game. The game's in Waco. And if you don't know where Live Oak is downtown. It's in like downtown Waco. It's like right near the silos, actually. Got a field tucked away right there. So Gordon, state-ranked Gordon, goes into Waco Live Oak, gets an important win. But instead of any of the touchdown passes or any of the big defensive plays, Pickle, let's go to Gordon kicker Juan Cabrera's extra point. Kick is snap back, kick is up, and it's good. And that's right. Into the window. I slowed it down here. Watch this ball. And hello. Right into the passing car window. A legit 1 in a million shot.
That rolls.
Juan Cabrera from Gordon. The only way to describe it, a trick shot extra point.
Yeah.
Fires it into the window, the open window of a passing car in downtown Waco.
I wonder if the car just kept driving. Like, did they stop and give the ball back?
Yeah, I don't know, because Gordon probably only has like a handful of kicking balls, right?
Yeah.
They probably need that one back. So if you have that ball, please bring it back to Gordon. Juan Cabrera from Gordon.
A sentence I didn't think I would hear this morning. If you have that ball, please bring it back to Gordon.
Tepper's Play of the Week had to be the Gordon kicker, Juan Cabrera. Quick break for a hot take. The road for a repeat will be tougher for DeSoto this year. So DeSoto had all eyes on the big game between Waxahachie and Cedar Hill this past week, because if Cedar Hill had won, there was a decent chance that DeSoto was going to go to the Division I bracket. Mm-hmm. Did not happen. Waxahachie won. DeSoto, barring something really strange, is going to go to the Division II bracket and defend their title. I'm here to tell you that I think Region 2 is tougher than it was last year. Specifically, there are 3 teams that I think are capable of giving DeSoto problems. I think Tomball Memorial is a problem. I think Pflugerville Weiss is a problem. And I think Willis is a problem. Let me tell you something, guys. Willis is the real stinking deal.
They do not just have the quarterback. Like, they have a lot of weapons.
You are spot on. They are much more than just DJ Lagway.
Their defense is looking good.
There's a lot to like about this Willis team. And I think Region 2 in Division 2 as a whole is going to be a lot stronger. Make no mistake about it. DeSoto's still the favorite. Clear favorite. But the road's going to be tougher for DeSoto this year. That I'm confident in. Time for a hunt of the week. Speaking of Houston, Katy Cinco Ranch 38, Katy Tompkins 28.
Tompkins is having some problems right now.
This turns District 19 6A really on its head. We thought we had a pretty decent feel for Tompkins, right? Hey, huge win in Week 1 over Cy Ranch. Heartbreaking loss in overtime to Bridgeland, and then you go to Katy, right? And okay, yeah, you're gonna get housed by Katy. Katy owns that district, right? But we're like, okay, still probably the second best team in that district. Cinco Ranch had just gotten done losing 11-7 to Katy Taylor, and so the computer had Tompkins by 30 in this game. And Cinco Ranch goes out there and hands him a 38-28 win. That turns District 19 6A basically behind Katy into a free-for-all. It's going to be a weird district there in District 19 6A after Cinco Ranch beats Tompkins. Keep an eye on that one. That's my of the week. Now it's time for our wild stat of the week. And we need to talk a little bit about Midwestern State. So Midwestern State
Not looking good.
Played West Texas A&M in their Lone Star Conference opener this past week. And West Texas A&M came away with a 27-0 victory. Okay? Great win for West Texas. That is the first time Midwestern State has been shut out since 2006. Okay? In the second round of the playoffs to Northwest Missouri. But hold on, Pickle. Here's your true wild stat of the week. That is their first regular season shutout loss since West Texas A&M 5, Midwestern State 0 on September 14th, 1996.
Wow.
27 years and 2 days between regular season shutouts. Midwestern State gets shut out on Saturday at the hands of the same team that did it last time, West Texas, and ends a 27-year scoring streak in the regular season for Midwestern State. That's your wild stat of the week. Now it's time for the real main event of this segment. It's the Matt Stepp, he got that dog in him, player of the week.
And now, the Matt Stepp. He got that dog in him. Player of the week.
This is Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football in front of Heroes Stadium with the Week 4 He Got That Dog in Him award winner, and that winner is none other than San Antonio Roosevelt running back Brennan Carroll. Brennan had 36 carries, over 200 yards rushing, and count them, four touchdowns to lead San Antonio Roosevelt to a huge district win over San Antonio Madison 28-24 here on Saturday afternoon. Congrats, Brennan. You, sir, have got that dog in you.
This has been the Matt Stepp He Got That Dog in Him Player of the Week.
Congratulations to Brennan Carroll.
The pick thing was good.
I'm going to keep making that dumber each week.
Yeah, you're doing a good job of it.
You have my attention. Hereford.
Yeah.
There's a group of teams. I tweeted a number of them last night. There's a group of teams that maybe you don't know are 4-0. Maybe one of them is Hereford. The Whitefaces are 4-0 in year 3 under Adam Nairn. And last week, they take on a 5A Amarillo-Tascosa team on the road. Come away with a 26-14 win. Time to start paying attention to Hereford. Let me tell you this. They have the rare distinction. They have been, according to the computer, an underdog in all 4 of their games.
Oh, wow. That's
They're
interesting.
underdog to Caprock, underdog to Wichita Falls, underdog to Shallow Water, underdog to Tascosa. And they're 4-0. Keep an eye on the White Faces. They have my attention. Get excited for. It's Westlake Lake Travis week.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Westlake Lake Travis going down Friday. We'll talk a lot about it over the course of the week. I'm sure we're going to talk tomorrow with Craig Way about it. But it's Lake Travis Westlake week. And state ranked, we'll see where they fall in the rankings, wink, wink, coming up here in a moment. But a huge game down there in Austin for rivalry purposes, for playoff purposes, everything purposes. Westlake and Lake Travis, massive game coming up Friday on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Finally, Pickle, my final thought. Let's appreciate coaching greatness while we're watching it. Larry Hill from Smithson Valley won his 300th game on Friday. Congratulations to Coach Hill with a good win over San Antonio Wagner, a game we had our eye on. Great win there. I was thinking about him, and I was thinking about watching Denny Faith. Albany got a big win over Hawley.
Yeah.
He's the 5th winningest coach in Texas high school football history. I was thinking about it when we were watching Gunner and Brock. Gunner's coach Jake Fizel with 2 more wins will reach 200. He will be the 4th fastest, or tied for the 3rd fastest in UIL history to 200 wins. He'll be if they win their next 2 games, he'll be 229.
That would be tied with Scott Surratt, right?
Tied with Scott Surratt. Think about that.
That's crazy.
So what I would encourage you is let's not wait until these guys retire. Let's acknowledge and appreciate the coaching greatness we're watching right now. It stretches far beyond those 3 guys, but those are 3 that certainly came to mind. And I think it's a prudent reminder here as we enter Week 5. And that is Monday Morning Fallout.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.